Welcome back to Crypto Saving Expert, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. My name is Jess, and we do these live streams every single weekday at around 11 a.m. talking about the latest news, keeping you up to date with everything that's going on in the world of cryptocurrency. And there's always a lot going on. There's never a dull day in the cryptocurrency markets. Let's take a look at what is happening with the price of Bitcoin right now. Looking at the Crypto Saving Expert website, we can see Bitcoin is currently sat at $21,664. So we have seen a break to the downside from that $22,000 level. And Ethereum is now sat at $1,534. So we have seen those move to the downside. We will do a little bit of analysis at the end of today's stream. But first of all, we are going to take a look at the most recent market news and see what is happening in the markets. Before we get on to that, I would like to mention, if you go to cryptosavingexpert.com and go to the courses section, there is a nice new course here that we have published within the last 24 hours to help you with your trading journey, learning how to trade from the beginning, starting from the basics and building up on that. So definitely go and check those out if you are interested to learn more about cryptocurrency. And don't forget, when you're on the website, all you need to do to get access to these is to press that big blue sign up button, put in your information there, and it's all absolutely free. So you're not losing anything just by giving it a go and seeing what you think. And I'm sure you will love it because a lot of work has gone into this website. Let's take a look anyway at the news and see what is happening. We have, first of all, the US court overrides the SEC's objection and approves Voyager's $1 billion sale to Binance. So Binance were going to buy Voyager's assets, and they have that was objected by the SEC, but now the US court have decided to override the SEC. Let's take a look at this a bit further. The US court has appended objections to Voyager Digital's takeover by Binance. According to Bloomberg, bankruptcy judge on Tuesday granted the bankrupt crypto brokerage firm permission to proceed with the acquisition deal with Binance's US arm. So with the court's permit, Voyager now has weeks to decide whether to accept and close the $1 billion deal with Binance.us or liquidate on its own. Now, we did hear yesterday that Voyager would actually be better off by $100 million to sell its assets to Binance. And also, it would mean that they can fill their users' funds a little bit more. So they could give back 73% of what is owed to customers if they sell those assets to Binance. However, Voyager will have to question Binance.us about various federal investigations before proceeding with the deal, the company's lead investment banker and said in a recent court hearing. So positive news here. The SEC is being shut down by the US court. Now, the SEC is attacking many different cryptocurrency companies right now. As we always say on this channel, we do want to see regulation within the space, but we just don't want it to stifle growth of the industry. The SEC has targeted many different companies. We've seen them target Kraken. We've seen them target many different things and say that people are offering unregistered securities or object to different movements within the markets. And now we've seen, obviously, the SEC objected to Voyager's assets being sold to Binance, but the US court has overridden this decision, and now Binance have the opportunity to buy those assets. It's better for Voyager's users because they get to be made a little bit more. And they get a bit more of their assets back. As we said previously, they get 73%. 73% of what is owed to customers will be able to be returned to those customers. So this is a positive thing for the industry. And it's always nice to see the SEC, who seem to attack many different cryptocurrency companies, have been overridden. That is a positive thing for us. Let's take a look at the next article now and see what is happening. Before we do, though, please don't forget to like and subscribe and press that notification button to help us grow the channel as big as possible. I've just heard how fast I was talking then. Apologies for that. If you don't mind hitting like and subscribe, we're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we do these live streams every single weekday. Hoping to get there by the end of the year. We are currently sat at, let's take a look at the numbers on the doors, 2,699 subscribers. So I'm sure we'll hit that 2,700 subscriber level today. And currently we are sat on 12 likes for today's stream. Let's have a target of 30. I'm sure we can get 30. Usually we need Jordan on to get these high levels. Jordan will be back on a stream with us very, very soon. He was talking to me about it yesterday. He's going to join in as soon as possible. He's been on a lot of track days recently, racing around in his car. Let's take a look at this article now anyway and see what's happening. The US government moves 40,000 Bitcoin seized by law enforcement. So at least 40,000 Bitcoin have been moved on-chain from wallets connected with the US government. Glassnode first flagged transaction, noting that these coins were obtained through seizures and some portion had been moved to Coinbase. This has subsequently spooked investors who suspect the US government could be planning a sale. Now, the dump of 40,000 Bitcoin onto the market would be incredibly painful to see. It would probably affect the price of Bitcoin. This is why it's caused a lot of fear. And as we always see in the markets, the fear will probably have a bigger effect than the actual dump of those assets. People are moving out of Bitcoin right now because they're worried that the price could decrease if the US government chose to sell those assets. In a separate report, blockchain security platform PeckShield said 49,000 Bitcoin were moved from the US government law enforcement wallet, worth over $1 billion at the current market price. So, Glassnode said most of the Bitcoins moved from the US government wallets are internal transfers. However, around 9.8 thousand Bitcoin worth $217 million were transferred to Coinbase, the largest crypto exchange in the US. And the fund transferred to Coinbase has particularly drawn concerns from the crypto community that it could be an antecedent for a dump, which will exert more selling pressure and possibly drag Bitcoin's price lower before the $22,000 support level. Now, we have already moved to the downside of that $22,000 level on the Bitcoin chart. We will discuss the Bitcoin price in just a second after we've been through the latest cryptocurrency news. We'll do a little bit of Bitcoin analysis and see what's going to happen next on the charts. It's all looking very interesting. Obviously, the amount of fear that's in the markets right now. Let's take a look at the fear and greed index and see what's going on over there. And we always like to take a look at this on the channel, and every single day I still don't pull it up in preparation. And we can see here we have a little bit of fear in the markets. It's now signaling fear. We're at 44. We've been sat in the 50s for quite a couple of weeks now. Now we are in this fearful level. The markets have moved to the downside. And my scenario in this, obviously nothing is ever financial advice on this channel, but I'm buying the dip. We've all had a taste of what the bull market feels like in the first couple of months of this year. January, February were good times for the cryptocurrency industry. And we've all had that taste of what it feels like if you manage to continue buying the dip and the markets finally swing to the upside. So this has incentivized me even further to continue dollar cost averaging in during the bad times, because we know now, and we've seen it again, that those that buy the dip seem to have performed well in the history of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Obviously, nothing is financial advice. History may not repeat itself, but fingers crossed in my portfolio that it does. Let's take a look at the news back anyway, seeing what's going on over here. So the US government owns more than 144,000 Bitcoin. Before the transfers, the US government had 144.5 thousand Bitcoin, worth over $3 billion in the wallets per Glassnode data. The Department of Justice officially confirmed a historic $3.36 billion crypto seizure in November 2022. The seized assets included 50,000 Bitcoin connected with the infamous Bitcoin darknet marketplace, Silk Road. It's uncertain whether the recently moved Bitcoins are planned for sale by the US government. However, it's worth noting that the authorities are not strangers to selling seized cryptocurrencies. In November 21, the Department of Justice announced plans to sell off $56 million worth of crypto it seized from the BitConnect Ponzi scheme. And at the time, it said proceeds from the sale would be redirected towards repaying investors affected by the fraud. So that is what we are looking at here. Obviously, this is causing a lot of fear in the market. As we've just said, the fear and greed index is moving to the downside. Fear is something I like to see in the markets because it means there's good buy opportunities, but in the long term, it would be in our best interest, to be honest, if the US just got rid of this right now. We've already seen the markets move to the downside because of the fear of this. If they decide to dump them right now, it's not something we need to worry about in the future. We've already seen the pros move to the downside because of the fear in the first place, but we'll see how this plans out in the next couple of days and weeks. We will keep you updated here on the Crypto Saving Expert News Show. We do these live streams, as I said, every single 11 a.m. keeping you up to date with the latest cryptocurrency news. So if you wouldn't mind hitting like and subscribe and press that bell notification button to help us grow the channel as big as possible, I would greatly appreciate it. And don't forget to send the live streams to your friends as well to help us grow the channel in that way. As I said, they may be interested in taking a look at the Crypto Saving Expert website, and they have nothing to lose. It's completely for free. So make sure to check that out. Let's take a look at the next article now and see what is going on. So for Bitcoin facts you may not know, we've started doing more informational pieces over on the Crypto Saving Expert website as well. If you want to take a look at these articles, don't forget to go over to the site. We also have another one here that I've brought up about Bitcoin ordinals. Now, you will have probably heard the discussion about Bitcoin ordinals in the last couple of weeks. It's been a very hot topic in the world of cryptocurrency. So if you want to learn a little bit more about that, make sure to check that out, and you will have, I can even put the link to this in the chat now if you want to take a look at that after today's stream. There you go. Let's take a look at the next news article and see what is happening. So we have Coinbase announces wallet as a service to onboard the next generation of cryptocurrency users. Now, I'm sure a load of you are sick of hearing me say this, but the two things we like to see in the cryptocurrency news is regulation in the correct way. For example, Coinbase's campaign for Crypto 435. And we like to see how we can adopt more users into the cryptocurrency space. And this article is on the latter. Coinbase announces wallet as a service to onboard the next generation of cryptocurrency users. So to onboard the next generation and allow businesses to capitalize on Web3 bit opportunities, Coinbase announced their wallet as a service, a solution to reduce the entry barriers that users face when joining the space. So Coinbase has introduced its new product, Wallet as a Service. The new product aims to enable organizations worldwide to assist in bringing the next 100 million users into Web3 through a smooth wallet onboarding experience. So the need for a Wallet as a Service solution arises as Web3 offers many chances for businesses to engage and better serve their customers. Yet at the same time, businesses have significant obstacles that keep them from taking advantage of these prospects. The complexity of Web3 wallets, which store digital assets, enable transactions, and serve as users' digital identities, is one of the biggest problems. Wallets have historically made it challenging for users to access and take advantage of Web3 capabilities due to their complicated mnemonic seed phrases and counterintuitive user interfaces. So with the new Coinbase Wallet as a Service, companies can create Web3 experiences accessible to everyone, regardless of technological proficiency. And Coinbase presented Wallet as a Service as a scalable and secure, and my phone is ringing, as a scalable and secure collection of wallet infrastructure APIs that enable businesses to design and offer their customers fully configurable on-chain wallets. So Coinbase are making big moves over the last couple of weeks. We've seen both them trying to make big moves in the regulation space and making big moves in how we can create adoption of the industry. Now, because Wallet as a Service is supported by multi-party computation, cryptographic technology, end users can use Web3 without remembering a challenging 24-word recovery phrase. Thanks to MPC, a key is divided between the end user and Coinbase. Ultimately, this means that even if a user's device is compromised, self-custody keys are secure. Furthermore, robust and automatic backup with MPC ensures that the Web3 wallet key will remain safe and can be safely saved even if an end user loses access to their device. Now, this is a huge concern for many people within the space. We have this barrier to entry into cryptocurrency. One of those being the lack of education, and a lot of people fear away from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain, Web3. They just don't think they're never going to understand it. So Crypto Saving Expert is the website to help with that free education, teaching people from the basics how to get into the world of cryptocurrency and just to explain what it actually is. And then we need different companies that can create software to help those people within the space more easily. And this is what Coinbase is trying to do here. So all positive things from Coinbase this week. Usually I'm not a huge Coinbase fan, but I'm very, very happy to see the different moves they are making within the markets right now. And it looks like they have been building hard within this bear market. And now this markets have slowly started to take that turn. They are releasing all of this positive news. Let's take a look at the next article now and see what is happening. So the UK's financial watchdog continues its crackdown on crypto ATMs in East London. So we saw crypto ATMs being banned in the UK even last year or the year before. Let's take a look at this. Does it have the date in it? And they were it was a report by the UK government in 2020 found that crypto ATMs offered criminals another gateway to launder ill-gotten funds. It also said that machines are potentially more vulnerable to abuse than exchanges, where know your customer checks are applied to users. So law enforcement has seen evidence of money mules increasingly making use of crypto ATMs to launder illegally obtained cash, the report read. And then they banned cryptocurrency ATMs completely. So a cryptocurrency ATM is essentially you can go and input cash and it will send Bitcoin to your cryptocurrency wallet. Now, obviously, some of these machines do require you to give some personal information, but many different people, so on some of these exchanges, ATMs, you could actually transfer your fiat into cryptocurrency without providing any personal information. So it was a fiat on ramp, but many people use this for money laundering and other things, as we've just discussed. So either way, the UK decided to ban them in the UK. First, they cracked down in Yorkshire, in the Leeds region, and now they are looking to crack down in East London as well. So they're making moves about that. And they were actually pretty common. If you went into a corner shop, sometimes they did have crypto ATMs in them. And I was always pretty excited every time I saw them, but no more. We won't see them in the UK anymore. Let's take a look at the next article here and see what's happening. Back to the US judges questioning the SEC. We did report at the start of today's stream. If you missed it, make sure to check out at the end of today's stream. Just rewind a little bit. The US court overrides the SEC's objection and approved Voyager's $1 billion sale to Binance. We're now seeing the US court also question the SEC over denial of Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF. So, judges in the US federal court has questioned the country's SEC over its decision to reject Grayscale's investment application for a spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund, according to the Reuters report. So Grayscale have actually commented on this and said they're asking to be regulated by the SEC, but the SEC are just saying no. So let's take a look at this. Last June, the securities watchdog rejected the US-based investment management firm's application to convert its flagship spot Grayscale Bitcoin Trust into a spot Bitcoin ETF, citing failure to meet anti-fraud and investor protection standards, as well as measures designed to prevent fraudulent and manipulative acts and practices. Following the SEC's rejection, Grayscale sued the agency, arguing that the regulator failed to apply consistent treatment to Bitcoin's investment vehicles as it had done to several Bitcoin futures ETFs in the past. And a panel of judges in the District of Columbia Court of Appeals in Washington pressed the SEC on Grayscale's argument. The judges stated that since the regulator had previously approved certain surveillance agreements to prevent fraud in Bitcoin futures-based ETFs, it can do the same for Grayscale's spot ETF, since both products track the value of Bitcoin. That's important to mention. If Grayscale do win this lawsuit, it doesn't mean that Grayscale will achieve the status of being an ETF, but it's one step in the right direction. So it's important for us, and it's very positive for us that the US judges are questioning the SEC's decisions here. Let's take a look at this a little bit further. The judge has said, it seems like it's fine for an agency to say, okay, we need some more information, but it seems there's quite a bit of information here on how these markets work together, and the SEC has not offered any explanation that the petitioners here are wrong. So we are seeing positive things, as I said here. It's not the end of the road, but it's a step in the right direction. We'll continue to cover how this plays out in the coming weeks as well, so don't forget to like and subscribe and press that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. And don't forget to go to cryptosavingexpert.com, press that big blue sign up button at the top, put your information in, and you'll get access to the world's best cryptocurrency news, guides, courses, and market data as well, all completely for free. Let's take a look at the next article now and see what is happening. So crypto-friendly bank Silvergate goes into liquidation and plans to repay all deposits. So Silvergate is a bank, was a bank that was known to be very cryptocurrency friendly. And we can see here, after casting doubt on its ability to continue operations, prominent cryptocurrency focused bank Silvergate has eventually settled on winding down operations and commencing voluntary liquidation. The holding company Silvergate Capital Corporation said shuttering and liquidating the crypto-friendly bank is the best path forward, as it intends to repay all customers' deposits. And we can see here the company have said, in light of recent industry and regulatory developments, Silvergate believes that an orderly wind down of bank operations and a voluntary liquidation of the bank is the best path forwards. And however, while it undergoes wind down procedures per applicable regulatory process, all deposit related services will remain operational, according to the company's statement. Last week, Silvergate made a risk-based decision to discontinue its flagship payments network, SEN, causing several crypto exchanges and companies to start distancing themselves from the bank, including Tether, Circle, and MicroStrategy. At the time of writing, Silvergate shares are down 5.76% over the past 24 hours and more than 36% in the past market week. So that is what we are looking at for Silvergate, obviously. It's a shame. We have seen a lot of different companies already distancing themselves prior to this news being announced. So let's take a look at why Silvergate is shuttering operations. So Silvergate's closure isn't entirely surprising following a recent filing in which the crypto bank referred to its ability to continue as a growing concern. The bank therein cited the impact of recent events in the cryptocurrency industry, especially FTX. So we are still seeing the effects of 2022. It was an incredibly bad year for cryptocurrency. We started with UST pegging in May 2022. Then we saw 3 Arrows Capital, Celsius. Continuing down the road, we got to November where we saw FTX collapse. And we are still seeing the repercussions of this. And now we've seen Silvergate as a result of how exposed it was to FTX prior to FTX filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Let's take a look at the next article now and see what is happening here. We have Mt. Gox pushes back deadline for creditors to select payout preference again. Now, I read this morning and I was not shocked at all. Mt. Gox pushes back this deadline over and over again, not just the So the application deadline is being pushed back. The deadline is being extended to April the 6th following court permission obtained by the company's trustee. And rather than a day, Mt. Gox creditors who are yet to register and select the repayment method now have close to 1 month grace to complete the procedure, else will not be able to receive any of the repayments. So they have to register to receive their funds back, and that deadline was approaching, but that's being pushed back. And now the date at which they need to receive those funds by has been pushed back again. So nothing surprising here. This has been pushed back for years. I mean, Mt. Gox failed in 2013, I believe. Let's see if there's a date in here, if we can see any. I can't see any in here. But we do remember that this had a huge... Mt. Gox was one of the first Bitcoin exchanges, and it was accountable for over 70% of Bitcoin transactions by the start of 2014. So it must have been 2014 that it just disappeared offline and took all of its user funds with it. Don't quote me on that date. I do need to check that one. Let's take a look at the next article now anyway and see what's happening before we continue with the final article on today's stream, and before we get on to the Bitcoin analysis. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and press that bell notification button to help us grow the channel as big as possible. We are trying to get to that 100,000 subscriber goal. So if you wouldn't mind hitting subscribe and share. Started playing my own video as well. If you don't mind going over and sharing the stream with your friends to help us reach that goal, it would be greatly appreciated. Let's take a look at how many likes we're on right now. We're on 25 with the goal of getting... No, that's the wrong video. We're on 18. That was disappointing. With a goal of let's try and get to 25 before we finish today's stream. Please don't forget to like the stream and help us on that mission. Let's take a look at the final article of today, which is here's what US senators are saying regarding Silvergate's closure. So let's take a look at this. Following a report on Wednesday that Silvergate Bank is winding down its operation, the US senator issued a statement saying Silvergate's case is what can happen when a bank is over reliant on a risky, volatile sector like cryptocurrency. We've also heard that's why I'm continuing to work with my colleagues in Congress and financial regulators to establish strong safeguards for our financial system from the risks of crypto. Let's see what else has been said here. Now customers must be made whole and regulators should step up against crypto risk. So that's obviously, we don't have many... We don't have many people in the US government that senators in the US government that are positive towards cryptocurrency. There are a few, but the governments as a whole seem to be a little bit fearful of the industry and don't have much expertise in the space. I remember when FTX, when they were liquidating Alameda's funds, I think it was Alameda's anyway, they just liquidated them in the complete wrong way and lost out on thousands and thousands of dollars, because there wasn't somebody in the government that understood cryptocurrency enough to understand how to stop having so much slippage in the markets. So it just is a lack of understanding, I believe. Obviously, that is quite a strong thing to say. Maybe we shouldn't be so opinionated on this channel. Let's take a look at this and see what's in the comments anyway. Jason Smith says, as they always say in the bad times, buy when everyone is selling, sell when everyone is buying. Follow the simple rule and use fear and index if you're unsure. Can you check it, Jess? Yes, we have pulled this up. We have fear and greed sat at 44. Now we've been sat in the neutral ground of the 50s for the last couple of weeks now. We have seen a move to the downside, which, as you say, is making me feel very, very greedy. And as I said earlier in today's stream, we have seen that move to the downside, and over the start of 2023, I always get that mixed up for the first like 3 months of the year. Since the start of 2023, January and February, we saw really nice moves to the upside for the industry, and that is giving us a glimpse of what the bull market feels like again. And we've seen those that continue to buy the dip and dollar cost average in during those low points in the markets. We've seen them get rewarded for that, and we have been rewarded for that. So we want to make sure that we can do that again. And when we're seeing these opportunities, I mean, towards November and December, dollar cost averaging in just was like some doubts were coming in because it was getting to the depth of the bear market. Now we've seen that nice swing to the upside. It's reminded us of why we do this, and we've seen that firsthand once again. So now when we see moves to the downside, I am very happy to dollar cost average in again and get some great buy-in opportunities before that next swing to the upside. Obviously, nothing is financial advice. Maybe there'll never be a swing to the upside again, but that's what I'm basing my portfolio off, because I am personally very confident that we will see a nice big bull market. We have the Bitcoin halving in May or April next year, and since then, I think we're going to see a nice big move to the upside, a nice big bull run where everybody will be happy in the space. Everybody will be tuning back into these live streams and seeing what's going on in the markets. When the markets are up, everybody's very interested in the cryptocurrency space. And hopefully, many people will get over to Crypto Saving Expert and learn a little bit more from all of the hard work we've put into this website. It's taken so long to create this website and fill it with so much information, but it's definitely worthwhile. It's a lovely site. It's just so clean and fresh, and it has everything you need to know about crypto. So if you haven't already, please go over to cryptosavingexpert.com and make sure to check it out and press that big blue sign up button at the top. Put your information in, tick that box there so you receive a newsletter every single Tuesday at 11 a.m. recapping the latest week in crypto. And as I said, everything is absolutely free. Now everyone's boosting my ego in the chat. Thank you very much. But that is all we have for today's stream. So please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow for the next one.